What's going on, guys? JPB Duel here. Hope you guys are enjoying your Tuesday. And for today's matchup, we have an Adventures Pranks versus a Virtual World, with my opponent playing Virtual World going first. Now, in my starting hand, I drew my artifact Lancea, which I preemptively pop on my opponent's standby phase. To do that, you need to have the activation on first of all, and the reason for that being is that in this meta, a lot of decks run the Adventures engine, and if they draw into the Enchantress, they could banish the Enchantress and get the full Adventures engine on the field. Lancea prevents that, and also, decks in this meta rely on banishing cards to draw into combo extension or as a part of their combo, which Lancea completely negates. And last reason, the main reason, flues. Do I need to say anything anymore? I know you guys understand what I mean by flues, so let's get on with the gameplay. So I do that, main phase, my opponent shows me he's playing Virtual World, and with this he makes a major misplay. He sends to the graveyard a Quinlong, but Quinlong cannot be activated because of Lancea anymore. He cannot banish the Quinlong to search for another combo extender, which basically means that if he has no combo extenders in his hand, his combo ends right here, right now. Let's see what happens. He has to end his combo, activates GG, gets the Lulu in his hand for his next turn. We don't care about all that. Now I'm thinking I have a combo card in my hand. Sadly, my opponent Lanceas me back as well. If I had not drawn into my Prank Kid's place, I could not have gone into my combo through Roxy's. Roxy's needs to banish a card for you to be able to go into your own combo, and Lancea prevents that. So this Prank Kid's place was a really huge draw for me right now. He does that. Since I had Prank Kid's place, I do not care. I activate it, search for my Dropsies, go into my combo using Dropsies. Now if my opponent had Maxi, he would have used his Maxi already, but he did not have it. Next up, we have to worry about Ash Blossom. My opponent's side of the field was getting highlighted over and over, so I was thinking maybe he wants to save his Ash Blossom for my Doodle Doo search, which I would not care about because I had Pandemonium in my hand. And the third thing I had to worry about after all this was my opponent having a Nibiru. So my opponent was bricked pretty hard, so that means he probably had hand traps in his hand, and once this fancy is resolved, I put my 5th card on the field. My opponent instantly nibs me, wipes out the whole field. I had no way of pushing past the nib, so I do the best thing I can do, which is activate Pranks at the end of my turn, set down my Pandemonium as well. Why do I set down my Pandemonium? It's because if, and I say if, with this Pranks recycle, I draw into a Prank Kid's monster card, I would have been able to put Weather Washer on the field on my opponent's turn, thus getting me more cards on the field for my own combo on my turn through the Weather Washer. Now with this Pranks, I chose to recycle my Doodle Doo, my Fansies, and my Pandemonium. What I should have done, so it's kind of a minor misplay right here, what I should have recycled instead of the Fansies was the Meow Moo in my graveyard, and I'll explain to you guys why I should have done that in this gameplay later. So I recycled them, draw into a Crossout, not really a useful card, but that's okay. Did not draw into my Prank Kid's monster, so not too great of a draw. My opponent banishes the Quinlong, searches for the Tao Tao. Tao Tao comes on the field. By attributing the nib, then he activates the Lulu, sends another Quinlong to the graveyard to search for Chuche. I mean, I probably would have sent the Swanwu to get a combo extension, but that's on my opponent. He puts the Shenshen on the field, basically acts as a Macrocosmos, sets down 2 cards, passes his turn. Now, this card right here, Prank Kid's player cannot push past this card, because Prank Kid's monster cards needs to go to the graveyard to get their activation. They cannot activate when they are banished. So really good card for my opponent, really bad card for me. So if right here, I'll explain to you guys why I should have kept the Fansies in the graveyard. I technically would have had a play if I had kept Fansies in the graveyard. What I could have done was that I could have activated Pranks, discarded the Roxy's, got myself a token. Token goes into Link Spider, normaled out the Celestial, and then using the Spider plus the Celestial went into Predaplant. Predaplant would have given me access to my Butler through Thunder Dragon Fusion. So that was a play. I could have made if I had kept the Fansies in the graveyard. I had Harpies to wipe out my opponent's back row anyways, so it would not have mattered to me. But what my opponent does is once I activate the Harpy's Feather Duster, he panics and activates the artifact Lancea from his hand. So big misplay for my opponent. I could have Called by the Grave or crossed out designated the artifact Lancea because I do run 2 copies of Lancea, but that would not have mattered. Let me explain why. Even if I negate the Lancea, that means his Macrocosmos would be active on the field. And if this Lancea goes through, the only combo starter card I had in my hand at that point was Roxy's. So either way, I was screwed out. I would not have been able to go into my combo. So what I did was I did not negate the Lancea from going through. I was hoping for my opponent to self-implode on himself from the major mistake that he did right now. So once the Duster plus the Lancea resolves, you guys will see. My opponent just outright scoops because he realized what he did. So important lesson here, guys, do not ever scoop even if you make a mistake. Sometimes your opponent cannot push past your mistake and you can win the game afterwards. That's going to be the end of the game, guys. If you guys do like this kind of videos, please consider hitting the like button, subscribing to my channel for more daily prank and video uploads. And if you guys are interested in the live version of all of this, I do live stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/jpbduel. Link along with my schedule is going to be in the video description for you guys to check out. This is JPBDuel signing off for today. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace!